So in this example, we're going to find the complementary and supplementary angles to 2 pi over 11. So first off, what is a complementary angle? Well, a complementary angle example would be 30 degrees and 60 degrees. Why are they complementary? Because if you add these two, you get 90 degrees. So in other words, complementary angles are basically two angles that if you add them, you get 90 degrees. So for the first one, complementary angle to 2 pi over 11, the only difficult thing is it's in radians, but that's okay. Because what we can do is we know that, so 90 degrees in radians is pi over 2. And we want to find the angle complementary to 2 pi over 11, so just subtract 2 pi over 11, and we can't just do pi minus 2 pi 2 minus 11. We got to find the LCD. The LCD is 22, so to get 2 to become 22, you would have to multiply 2 by 11 and do the same thing to the top, pi times 11. And to get 11 to become 22, you would have to multiply 11 by 2. And again, same thing, you got to do it to the top. So what we have for the first fraction is 11 pi over 22 minus 2 pi times 2 gives you 4 pi over the same denominator, 22. And then 11 pi minus 4 pi gives you 7 pi over 22. So this would be the angle that would be complementary to 2 pi over 11. So that's good. What about the next one? So now you want to find the angle that's supplementary to 2 pi over 11. So what is supplementary? Again, complementary is when two angles add to become 90 degrees. Supplementary is when two angles add to become 180. So an example would be, let's say, same angle 30, but instead of 60, you would use 150. Because if you add these two, you get 180 degrees. So 30 degrees and 150 degrees are supplementary to each other. So now using the same angle of 2 pi over 11, again, the only thing that's difficult is that we're not given the problem in degrees, we're given it to in radians. So you don't use pi over 2, you use 180, and 180 degrees in radians would be pi. So you're going to do pi minus 2 pi over 11, and then just solve for this. Pi as a fraction is the same thing as pi over 1. And you cannot just do pi minus 2 pi, 1 minus 11. You have to find the LCD just like the previous problem. So 1 times 11 would give you the same denominator. Multiply pi by 11. So the first fraction becomes 11 pi over 11. And then the second fraction can just stay the same, 2 pi over 11, because the denominator is the same. And then 11 pi minus 2 pi gives you 9 pi over 11. So this would be the angle that's supplementary to 2 pi over 11, and 7 pi over 22 would be the angle that's complementary to 2 pi over 11. And that's how you solve the problem.